Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Now, we are back on the channel with another reaction, or I should just say a reaction video, to yesterday's result to Sheffield Wednesday, where QPR drew 1-1 at the Hillsborough Stadium. Now, if you lot didn't see the watch long, it's there. Go tune in, check it out. It kicked off really quick, it did. So yeah, so much love for everyone who joined and hit the like button and subscribed. Much appreciated for that. Now just going straight into it. Yeah, it wasn't the best game that we've played, but it wasn't the worst. It had a bit of a hint of a little, I would say, probably Preston to it, where we fell off a little. We started well, but then we fell off a little in the like last 30 minutes of the first half, I would say. But yeah, we got our notes here. We're gonna do our best to analyze and react to the game yesterday. Now we'll go straight into it. The ball possession in the end ended 50-50. Expected goals, we were higher at 2.17 than when Sheffield Wednesday was 141. This is by obviously the end of the game, not in the game. It did vary in the game a little bit. So yeah, total shots was even 14-14, but Sheffield Wednesday had more of the big chances in the game. Momentum wise, it was 50-50 as well. It was a very end-to-end game in the end, but I would say more the attack was QPR, the exciting attack, I should say. Sorry, hopefully everyone can hear me a lot better today. I know the mic was a bit loud yesterday. So going into it, QPR started off strong in the first 20 minutes of the game. Pretty much usually as we do in some of the most of the games, 25 minutes where we look very exciting. So yeah. We had opportunities from Burrell in the first half. In the first 3 minutes, he got a header on target from across from Davis on the left-hand side in the first half, but it was a good save by their keeper, getting low down to his right-hand side. So that was unlucky. We had the first 3 minutes was very interesting from us, where we were straight in an attack. And we put pressure on them constantly in the first 20 minutes. Then the momentum kind of killed down a little, I would say, where it was 50-50. You had Valerie having an opportunity, Rich Kone had an opportunity, Madsen had an opportunity, I believe, outside the box. Kogi Sato did as well. Harry Amas for Sheffield Wednesday had an opportunity as well in that first couple of minutes, 20 minutes, roughly 30 minutes. But the goal that killed it, well, went forward for us, was the Sheffield Wednesday goal in the 30th minute from Dominic Iorfa, who was assisted by Barry Bannon. A cracking free kick by him, honestly. You know, when you go into games, you know, you got to kind of look at where's their advantages, where's their disadvantages. Hopefully Julian sets it up like this and stuff like that, but unfortunately we gave away a free kick, we did, and a set piece was brought in by Barry Bannon into the box. But I think the thing that we need to look into it most, and I've seen obviously on social media about it as well, where I'm not gonna let it slide, because obviously it needs to be treated fairly because of Joe Walsh. We've judged Joe Walsh as well. Paul Nardi cannot be coming out like Superman like that to come and get a ball. That was ridiculous in my opinion. He's got to do better than that. We need to learn from our mistakes we do constantly. Paul Nardi cannot be coming out swinging his hands like that anymore. And if he does it again, then I would say probably you're gonna have to put another keeper in there. If you make a mistake, we need to recorrect it, and the only way to recorrect that, in my opinion, is by giving another keeper an opportunity to show the keeper that you're not going to be gifted chances here, you know. And I get, obviously, some people, teams and all of that will always constantly stick to a keeper because they don't see the point of rotating it. But for me, if it was me, I would have been really annoyed with that mistake. We're giving away silly little goals like that in the 30th minute in the first half, and we should be either defending it better, or Nardi's got to be getting to it a bit better, or not even coming out a goal like that. Because Barry Bannon's crosses, set pieces, and passing is unbelievable. And that's how we should look that into the game when we started. So Barry Bannon was the key man. Harry Amas is there to put in the crosses as well on the wings. Now their striking force was okay. They had a couple of opportunities, but I would say a lot of the time they weren't there. You know, the defense was on point for us, I would say, in moments where Mbenge was just constantly on pressure, on target, constantly winning the ball back. Really pleased with him. He had a great performance, I think. Morrison as well, great performance. Luckily, Mbenge didn't receive another yellow card, because if he did, he would have missed the game against Oxford. I don't know what the match ban is when you have 5 yellow cards. Is it a game or is it 2? But we have Oxford next, and hopefully he doesn't receive a yellow for Bristol City, which we need him for sure. Because obviously we've got enough players. But in defence, we need Clark Salter back, I would say. And hopefully he's back for Bristol City game. Hopefully. Now, going from there, from 30 minutes onwards, it literally was all Sheffield Wednesday on attack. They constantly gave it to us for half-time. Obviously, like I said, their player Bailey, Liam Palmer, had a couple of opportunities after their goal that they scored in the first half. But I would say Nardi in the defence had it all under control after that. Now, after obviously the first half, when we went into half time, Julian had to speak to his team. Obviously, he has to do something, change something, because we looked killed. You know, I know Sheffield Wednesday probably looked a bit drained, and it proved it in the second half. But we needed to make a change or something to put a more attacking threat on the ball, because our attacking threat wasn't really there yesterday in the first half. And then that's when the second half started, and we brought on Dembele. We brought Dembele, Frey, and Isaac Hayden for Vale, Burrell, and Varane. Now, I would say it was great substitutions. I wouldn't expect Vale to go off. I think Sato most probably would have been the best bet to go off. He wasn't really performing as best. He was a very marked man. Couldn't really do what he usually does, getting past players and stuff like that. So he was a very player that was well marked. So I would have probably left Vale on and just taken Sato off. But then that's when the attacking threat for QPR happened, where we constantly just put pressure on them. In that second half, from the 45th minute all the way to the 62 minute, where we scored our goal eventually, because we was constantly on the attack. We had chances in the second half. We did from, I believe, give me a second, I will check. Look here. So it was very, very interesting start to the second half. It's something what we needed, like I said. So Jimmy Dunn came close, I believe. Just looking here actually. So yeah, sorry, Burrell came close. I believe Jimmy Dunn gave the assist in the first half, I think it was. So yeah, substitutions made in the second. They had a couple of opportunities, but yeah, attempt blocked. Richard Kone obviously had a chance, but it was blocked, and that was assisted by Nicholas Madsen. And then that's when the penalty came in on the 47th minute, I believe it was, where their striker Bailey Kadamatari handballed the ball from a corner, so that gave us the opportunity to get back on level, and Nicholas Madsen stepped up to take the penalty and scored it, tucked it away in the left hand corner, which I did say at the start of the watch along yesterday that Madsen would probably score. I don't know, pretty lucky I guess, I thought, but yeah, then we just kept putting on the attack after the penalty. Dembele came close, I believe Koki Sato came close. Dembele again came close. Davis had an opportunity. So it was a very interesting game all the way until the, I believe, let me check. Yeah, like I said, it's to the 62nd minute, where then Sheffield, we kind of died down a little, and Sheffield Wednesday put some momentum on it, and obviously then the end of the game was just pretty much end to end, really. So I think, to be honest, we could put it in this perspective. It's a fair result if you want to think about it. Where I did say Sheffield Wednesday, when we go to Hillsborough, we do struggle for some reason. I don't know why, but we went into that game with a different approach. We did, where obviously new manager for Sheffield Wednesday. Their form is really bad, and we had that opportunity to just put pressure on them to try and get the 3 points, but it's an away game, and like I said, I'd be happy with a point, especially with that game style of play we played against them. It was a very tough game, I would say, for us away, and we're gonna expect it pretty much all season, and we need to kind of do better if we want the 3 points. But I think a point against that game is very good for us on that behalf. So yeah, apart from that, we had subs going on. Steve Cook, Paul Smith, came on for Richard Kone, which Julian said that he changed it up just because obviously energy wise, and he put him up front just to see what he could do. And then Steve Cook came off for Amadou Mbenge, just because when you looked in it from, I believe it was about 50-60 minutes, and Mbenge looked shattered. He looked knackered as hell. He's been playing pretty much all season. The only rest he's had was probably against Coventry. So yeah, but great player. And Mbenge puts his heart on the shirt, and it's just quality player, man. Honestly, Burrell didn't really kick in at all. I would say what we're used to seeing with the pace and the running. Kone was a marked man as well. Maybe we should have put a different team out yesterday, possibly. But yeah, we can't really hate them because we didn't lose. That's the main thing. As long as we didn't lose, we kept our momentum. We went in there with basically staying in the top 10. So I'm happy with that. No issues there. The only issue I have, like I said, is Nardi. Nardi's got to be doing better than conceding goals like that, which is pretty stupid in my opinion. So yeah, but we'll go into player ratings now. So Nardi got a 5.8, as you can see in the squad there. I'd be honest, probably about right. He wasn't on point yesterday. He was pretty shit. I think the only decent thing about us, as I can see, is the ratings, is the defense. They all got 7 and above. Jimmy Dunn 7.5, Morrison 7.1, and Mbenge 7.0, Davis 7.2. I would say we did our job in defense, and I think, like I said, the goal that they scored came from just a mistake from Nardi. So I'm not gonna fault the defense, even though it should have been probably that Dominic should have been watched a bit better in defense than what happened. But yeah, attacking wise, Madsen got an 8.0, which is brilliant. I think he's killing it. I think he's doing really well. I think he's keeping Field out of the team. Now obviously everyone loves Field. I love Field, but the problem is when you got a player like Madsen on form, you can't really change it. Maybe for this game, probably, like I said, squad it up, change it up, just for energy wise for Oxford, but depending on what his tactics was. Now obviously we're going into the game. We are on Wednesday with only one training session probably, so hopefully that they get tucked in and do what they need to do. Varane got a 6.6, Vale got a 6.0, Burrell got a 6.2, Sato got a 6.5, and Kone got a 5.4. Now, Kone didn't really have the best of games, as far as we saw. Very quiet. Wasn't really there. Had a couple of opportunities, but not as much as like he usually does. But yeah, I would say attacking force, they did their best, but I think the second half was more of an improvement and more better for who came on, such as Frey, Dembele and Paul Smith. Obviously Isaac Hayden came on and got a 7.0. Dembele got a 6.3, Frey got a 6.4, Paul Smith got a 5.9, and Steve Cook obviously came on too late, so they didn't really rate him on that level. So yeah, what we need to improve on is just Nardi not flying out a goal, because I believe it's 2 mistakes he's made now whilst he's been on the field. So yeah, I would say defensive wise, the only thing I'm worried about is defense is Bristol City game, how we're going to be. But I would say the main improvement is we need to go into that Oxford game with a full attack force, going thoroughly 45 minutes into it, not 20 minutes, not 25 minutes, not 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we need a goal or two in that first half if we're going to drop down a little and let them in. So yeah, apart from that, nothing much really to say. All we can say is we got Oxford on Wednesday, Bristol City on the Saturday. I think it's on the Saturday, I'm not too sure. But yeah, we got to be a lot better. And obviously I think we're at home, so we got to make sure that we get the result that we need. And then yeah, we go into there. Don't know what team he's going to play. I think he needs to switch it up a little bit, not just for energy wise, but just to put a bit more momentum into there with players. I think Frey might most probably be on the field instead of Kone or Burrell, and see what happens there really. So yeah, but if anything, leave comments in the comment section what you think, what we need to improve, what we need to do, what was this, that, you know. Now, man of the match, before we end this, I'm going to give it to Nicholas Madsen, just because he's been on point. It was either him or Mbenge, one or the other. But yeah, Madsen is just doing well this season. I think he's continuing his season that he ended last season, where he scored his goal against Sunderland. But yeah, I think great performance from Madsen, and he deserves all the credit that he's getting at the moment. So yeah, now for injury list, obviously they're saying Ilya won't be back till early October, Clark Salter early October, Joe Walsh late October, Poku early October, and obviously Likesh next year. So hopefully this might be wrong. Hopefully they come early and see what happens. But yeah, Wednesday night, Loftus Road, 8 o'clock kickoff against Oxford United. We go again, watch along, tune in, we'll be live on then. And apart from that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and we'll catch you on Wednesday night against Oxford. Don't forget to leave your comments below on what you want to say. I read everything, and hopefully we can agree to it as well. So yeah, but have a lovely weekend, finish the weekend strong, stay positive, and we will catch you on the weekday of Wednesday. Cheers, bye.